everybody, Rich from Check Your Head Counselling here. Thanks for watching this video, and I promise you, you are going to want to stay to the end for this one. Now, you may be wondering, as other people have asked me, Rich, why do you specialise in men's mental health? And doesn't that discriminate against anybody who isn't a man? Let's have a little think for a moment about what to specialise in something means. Specialising in any area means that you're bringing your skills, your knowledge and your experience to bear in an area that you can bring the most value. In therapy, there are lots of different approaches: person-centred, Gestalt, transactional analysis, CBT, DBT, ACT. There are also lots of different areas that therapists might specialise in: relationship counselling, bereavement, eating disorders, neurodiversity. Does that mean that those specialists discriminate against anybody who doesn't experience those issues? So without further ado, let me give you not 1, 2, 3 or 4, but 5 reasons why I specialise in working with men. Blokes, lads, fellas, dudes, bros, chaps, gentlemen, geezers. Number 1, my own lived experience. As a man, for the whole of my life, I know exactly what it's like to navigate this world from the male perspective. And as a therapist, I can tell you right now, that's something that is in short supply for a lot of potential clients. I know what it's like to grow up in a home where my dad wasn't around. I know what it's like to be divorced and deal with the shame and guilt of a failed marriage. I know what it's like to be a man in a world today that doesn't really like us. So if you're looking for a safe space to express your masculinity, I can offer that to you without shame or judgment. Number 2, negative media image. It's really difficult today to find any kind of positive stories about men. The media will criticise, will shame, will judge, and will use examples of toxic masculinity to imply that men are somehow all bad. And especially for young boys growing up, this is really damaging. In the absence of any positive role models or positive messaging around what it means to be a man, they'll gravitate more towards people like Andrew Tate. And that doesn't end well for anybody. I can offer an antidote to that negative perception of men, because when you work with me, you'll experience acceptance and judgment for who you are, not shaming, criticism or blaming for something that you can't do anything about. Number 3, lack of representation. As a male therapist, during my training and in practice, I'm definitely in the minority. Now, for men coming into therapy, quite often what I find is that they're looking for someone that they can relate to, that they can feel comfortable with. And I've been told many times that I look like somebody that they could have a pint with. Now, I'm not for a moment suggesting that we go to the pub for therapy, but men need to feel that the person they're sat with gets them. I'm talking to you. No, not you. You at the back there. Yeah, the guy that doesn't feel that therapy can help them because when he looks at it, all he sees is soft and fluffy stuff. Give me a call, let's talk. Number 4, playing to my strengths. Now, this one might sound like blowing my own trumpet, but the reality is that I'm good at what I do. Over my years in practice, I've developed an approach that I feel works best with men. I know what I'm good at, I do what I'm good at very well. Men have sought me out because I offer something that is a bit more direct, a bit more relatable, and it helps them get what they need sooner than perhaps it might do if they were sat in a process where somebody just nodded and said, "Oh, that sounds really hard." Ultimately, my goal as a therapist is to make myself redundant as soon as it's safely possible for you, and I feel that I can do that most effectively when working with men. Number 5, male suicide statistics. Okay, let's get real now and have a look at this again. The statistics around male suicide are 100% unacceptable. Every week, 75% of the people in the UK who take their lives are men, and it is the biggest killer for men under 50. It does not take a mathematician to realise that something is fundamentally wrong with the way that we deal with men's mental health. I believe this needs to change, and I'm doing my bit one client at a time. I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that if I can bring my skills, experience and knowledge to bear in helping out in any way to reduce those numbers, that's what I should be doing. If any of the issues in this video do resonate with you and you feel like you might need to talk to somebody sooner than I or perhaps another therapist can offer, take a note of these numbers. Thanks for watching, and please do take care of yourself.